So thank you all for attending my talk on Viral Voices, Can Digital Liberate the Oppressed? Firstly, I need a favour from everyone in the room. Can you all get your phones out and just put them by your feet? I'm going to need them later on in the room, all right? So I just need them somewhere easy access. Brilliant. Now, I'm going to teach you how to change the world in 13 minutes by going viral. Okay. But why did I come up with this topic? Well, I was in a relationship for 10 years, and it was amazing. We cried together, we laughed together, we had a swell of a time. I mean, have any of you ever been in such a relationship? And then all of a sudden it was taken away from me. It was taken away from me by two dictators. See, I was in a relationship with Game of Thrones. It was the best TV channel or TV show ever, all right? And then on the final season, D.B. Benioff and David Wise create a final season that has no love, no care. You know, it has water bottles by dragons. It has a Starbucks cup on a medieval set. And that's when I realized I'm oppressed. So I thought that I would go online with 2 million other people and sign a petition on change.org to rewrite the final season of Game of Thrones. All right? Me and 2 million other people in their mother's basements. And was I successful? No. So can digital make the world a better place? It can't. Thank you for attending my talk, and I'll see you later. Okay. But in actuality, I actually had two pieces to the puzzle. You see, I visualized a cause that I believed in, and I also identified the goal of that campaign. But if you actually want to go out and make the world a better place, you actually need a bit more. You see, I was a slacktivist. I clicked like on a Facebook post, I shared something, and I thought, you know what, bingo, that's me done. All right. Honestly, how many of you have seen something on Facebook, shared it, let's say something about world hunger, and then you've come into the office and you've not given the homeless guy outside the street something? Don't be like me, guys. Be an activist, not a slacktivist. So I thought, you know what, I can't have this. I'm going to go out and create a formula that we can use to create change by also going viral. And that's this. This is how you go viral. You visualize a cause you believe in, then you identify the goal of that campaign. You remember what that cause means to you. So that's that heart-wrenching bit, you know, the bit that someone can actually connect with. And then you address it using the right platform. In this case, it's social media. And then finally, you let others share your story. But you're probably thinking, okay, that's nice. How did you come up with that? Well, I already had the first two pieces. Then I went back in history to 1955. And that's where I met Emmett Till. You see, Emmett Till was a 15-year-old black kid in Mississippi. And I really connected with him because I thought to myself, you know, if I was in Mississippi and a 15-year-old, that could have easily been me. You see, Emmett was just visiting his aunt, and he was brutally beaten. He was beaten to the point that his parents couldn't recognize his face, and he was killed. Just because he allegedly wolf-whistled at that white lady. And you know, this was during the civil rights movement, when people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were fighting for civil rights for black people. And I thought to myself, surely this should have been a springboard for them to get the message out there that this isn't right. But the Civil Rights Bill was passed in 1964. So that's almost 10 years after this. And I believe that's because they just didn't have the right platform at the time. They couldn't touch as many people as they would have liked. You see, his pictures would have been in magazines up and down the country, but how many people really would have seen it? So with Emmett Till, he had that, remember what this cause means to you. But unfortunately, they didn't have the right platform. Now, if we can compare this to Black Lives Matter, this was something that was triggered after the death of Trayvon Martin. And a simple hashtag brought millions of people together. They were able to share their stories, connect, go out and protest, lobby politicians, and use it to great effect. Scholars call this media mobilization. And this was the first one to do it. So I think things like hashtag Time's Up, hashtag #MeToo wouldn't be around if it wasn't for Black Lives Matter. They were able to address it using the right platform. But social media is so powerful, in my opinion. It connects people together. If knowledge is power and you're able to share it at the speed of light with a click of a button, then surely that is a massively powerful thing. It also allows people who are dissenting from the state anonymity because of this dispersed nature of it. And then on top of that, it also allows people just to share their stories and get across that heart-wrenching, remember what it means to you. But what happens if it's not used correctly? What happens if it doesn't have a clear, identified goal? Well, in my opinion, this does.
Not since the Blitz has London seen so many fires burning so fiercely at the same time. This was a warehouse near Enfield in North London. To the south of London in Croydon, a whole row of buildings was on fire. Further along the road, firefighters tackled another blaze from aerial platforms.
In 2011, protests were struck in Tottenham after the death of Mark Duggan, who was killed by a Tottenham police officer. And this was kind of a seminal moment because there was kind of frustration in the community of young people at the time. They were frustrated at the lack of opportunity, the lack of jobs. And it was kind of like a kettle boiling. And his death was sort of that boiling point. They used WhatsApp messages and BlackBerry messaging, that old archaic device, to organize each other and go out and protest. But quickly, it didn't have a clear and identified goal. So using encrypted messaging, where only the intended recipient is able to actually receive the message, so the police actually weren't able to track people. And this meant that riots up and down the country happened, from Liverpool to Brighton to Tottenham, 20 minutes from where I live. And I remember being so upset at the time because this was a huge opportunity for us to get our message out there. But instead, it just descended into mindless chaos. You see, social media is so powerful. And a very wise politician said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If we don't use it properly, it can do this. But I believe in someone even wiser, all right? Someone who goes by the name of Uncle Ben. And he said, with great power comes great responsibility. That's Spider-Man's uncle. And I think that's so true because the same technology that was used to lit London alight was used to turn it off. You see, Facebook Messenger and Facebook groups were created afterwards where people went out on the streets and they cleaned up the mess. And they told people, look, if this is what you want to do, go away. This isn't our London. It's so massively powerful. Now, moving on to the final part of the formula, that L, that let others share your story. And this was the Hong Kong extradition protests. You see, in my opinion, this is the most advanced use of social media to create change and to liberate people. They used a similar platform as Reddit, where they were able to track where the police are going to be. They used it to track where they needed a bit more protests. They used it to get out messages about what they're protesting against. And they also went outside of Hong Kong Airport and did a sit-out where everyone who walked out of the airport, tourists, they used airdrop just to send anti-extradition bill protest information. And that's when I realized how powerful this is, because Carrie Lam, the chief executive of Hong Kong, has actually withdrawn the extradition bill. But they're still out there and they're still protesting, still using social media because they want it completely withdrawn to the point that it'll never be brought back again. So everyone, that's how I came up with this little formula here. All right? That's how we go viral and we create a bit of change. And the question today was, is digital making the world a better place? Well, I'm giving you guys the golden key to decide. All right? Everyone in this room is able to make that choice for themselves. You can either use this to, be the London riots, or you can use it to be the Hong Kong protesters. And, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I do know appendicitis is awful, so please stay away from that. Okay. Now, guys, unfortunately, that's me done now. I've told you what really grinds my gears. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from people in the room. What makes you angry? I told you, for me, it's, actions against people's human rights. What about people in the room? Anyone? Brexit. Socks and sandals. Crime against fashion. That's true. That's one of the, that's that one there. Takes the internet not working. Using up more than one seat on the train. That annoys me too. You know what? Rhiannon, do you mind coming up on stage here? Thank you. Guys, I'm going to use Rhiannon's example to go viral and create a bit of change. All right, Rhiannon?
Okay.
Go on, stand out of the presentation.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So, Rhiannon, we're going to visualize a cause that you believe in. Mm-hmm. So that's people...
Using up more than one seat on the train, like putting their bag on it, or just kind of spreading.
Okay, so kind of like man spreading on...
Yeah,
we don't want that. We don't want
No.
that. Okay, so we need to identify the goal of her campaign. We don't want to be the London riots. We don't want to be just willy-nilly with this, all right? So what do you want to happen?
I would like everyone to know that when they get on the train, they've got one seat that they can sit on, and they don't spread across because it impacts on everybody else's commute.
That's fair enough. Imagine if a pregnant lady and she's standing because
Exactly.
I've got my feet on the
You
chair.
just don't feel like you can ask them to move.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Okay. Now we need to remember what this cause means to you. Mm-hmm. You need to share with the room today, why they should care about it.
Well, it impacts your morning commute every single day. Your evening commute, you might have had a long day at work and you're really, really tired and you want to get on the train and...
No, Rhiannon, you're knackered, all right?
I'm
After a long
absolutely
day's work,
shattered.
you're knackered, you want to sit down,
You
okay?
might be wearing heel boots.
I don't wear heel boots.
Well...
And then we have to then address it using the right platform. And this is where you guys come in. All right, everyone, can you grab your phones, please? Okay. And now I need you to open Twitter. And if you don't have Twitter, I want you to open LinkedIn. And if you don't have LinkedIn, I need you to open Facebook. And if you don't have any of those, what are you doing? Okay. So I need you all to, we need to create a hashtag. And it's Transport for London, right, the tube?
Yeah.
So let's @ TFL. Everyone, are you @ing TFL? I'm watching. Okay. And we need to create a simple hashtag which we can let others share your story. Okay? Hashtag...
something to do with seats.
Hashtag one bum, one seat. All right? Hashtag one bum, one seat. Okay. Now, everyone, we're going to go viral. Tweet it. Publish it. Press send. All right? Brilliant. Guys, we've done it. We've just... Yeah, the number one. Let's go with the number one. Why not? Okay. We've done it, Rhiannon. Thank you.
Perfect.
We've gone viral. Let's give Rhiannon a... Oh, no. Come back here. Because you've literally just done what I did with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You're a slacktivist. I want everyone in this room to be activists, all right? So I need you all to get up on your feet. Get up on your feet, please. Guys, don't be like me. We're going to be activists. We're going to be like the people in Hong Kong. We're going to go to Transport for London and we're going to protest, okay? Repeat after me. We're going to start quietly and then work our way up. Hashtag, no, not hashtag. One bum, one seat. One bum, one seat. One bum, one seat. One bum, 1 seat. Thank you, guys. We've done it. We managed to create a bit of change. You can sit down now. Look, I know that was just a little bit of lightheartedness, but if we use it properly, we can actually create a bit of change and make the world a better place. You know, if a 15-year-old girl is able to mobilize the whole world to protest against climate change, why can't you guys do something? Now, if you excuse me, I need to go and save the final season of Game of Thrones. Thank you.